One last main topic to get to here, guys, before we go into our live questions. And we're going to do this last topic, which comes to us from Tina Almeida. And Tina Almeida writes, "Hi, John and crew. I just saw on Variety that Warner Brothers is considering two options on what to do with Wonder Woman 1984. To delay it to summer of 2021, or to keep the current Christmas date and drop it on HBO Max in January. Which one do you think they should do? What are the pros of each option?" All right, thanks a lot for sending that in. And look, the never-ending drama and everything going on with Wonder Woman 84. It's moved release dates several times already. And now it's supposed to be coming out in 5 weeks, Rob. It's supposed to be coming out in 5 weeks. I don't think it's going to come out in 5 weeks, but maybe it will. Here's what's coming to us right now. Variety writes this. 6 weeks before Wonder Woman 1984 is scheduled to open in theaters on Christmas, Warner Brothers are considering whether to push the highly anticipated superhero sequel to summer of 2021, or there might be another option on the table, or keep the movie on its December 25th theatrical debut and then put it on the HBO Max streaming service in early January, according to sources with knowledge of the plans. All right. So what it looks like here right now is that we said for weeks now, Rob, both you and I have said there's no way Wonder Woman's going to open on the 25th. There's no way it's going to open on the 25th, especially now with 156,000 new cases of the pandemic. The pandemic is almost twice as bad as it has ever been at any point during the pandemic.
Yep.
I was watching a report yesterday that says as of right now, there's about 70,000 Americans in hospital right now, today. 70,000 American hospital beds are being taken up with people in COVID. We are approaching 300,000 deaths. That's just Americans. 300,000 dead Americans. We're getting close to that number. We're getting closer and closer to that number. We even have I saw the governor, Rob, of Illinois running down all these numbers and then saying to people who refuse to wear masks out in public, "What is it going to take," said the Illinois governor. "What's it going to take for you to take this seriously?" It's getting bad. And I mean, and once they moved, a few weeks ago, I thought maybe it's possible they could keep it there. But once Free Guy moved, once Death on the Nile moved, once everybody else was vacating, it became kind of clear. And I think with these massive spikes now happening, it's pretty clear. Hopefully we do get this vaccine sooner rather than later. However, Rob, you and I were talking the other day about Cinemark considering a temporary strategy of agreeing with movie studios on a film-by-film basis to have a shortened theatrical window for a period of time, because that gets them some movies to generate revenue to keep them alive until the theaters can come back. And it gives some distributors what they want, the ability to get some theatrical revenue and then get on home streaming as quickly as possible. Under normal circumstances, not something movie theaters would consider. In a pandemic, might not be the worst idea in the world. So this potential option of, okay, you know what? With whatever movie theaters are actually open come December 25th, depending how bad these spikes get, because we're seeing more and more states start to re-shut down everything.
Yeah.
But it actually becomes not the worst idea in the world, because a couple of benefits. Number one, for people who really, really want to see this thing in a theater, they're going to get to see it on December 25th, if they live in an area where there are theaters open. Number two, we just talked, Rob, about how Disney Plus has 73 million subscribers, whereas HBO only has about half of that. Dropping something like Wonder Woman 84 could help. Make the kind of money that it would theatrically? No, but it could be beneficial and it could help. It's not a completely unrealistic option that they could employ a December 25th release in whatever theaters are available, and then say mid-January, put it out on HBO Max. It's a possibility. I don't think that's what they're going to do, though. I completely agree. It's a possibility. There could be some upside to it, but I still think the option they're going to go for is, especially now with whispers of a vaccine coming sooner rather than later, to push this thing to like a midsummer of 2021. It just, instead of these little dinky donk moves where they moved it 6 weeks and then they moved it 8 weeks, then they moved it 5.5 more weeks. Instead of doing that, just saying, screw it. We're going to move this thing 6 months. We're going to do a full 6-month move. We're going to set it in summer, July, August of 2021. We're going to do a full marketing campaign. We're going to make $900 million of it at the box office. And then we'll put it on HBO Max come November or December or something along those lines. So I think both are options, but I think the way they're going to go is the further delay and a 2021 full theatrical release. Rob, what do you think about these two options? Which one do you think, not should they go with, but which one do you think they will go with?
I tend to agree with what you just said, because the problem is these movies were greenlit originally with the expectation. I mean, Wonder Woman made over $800 million. So the expectation is that Wonder Woman 2 is going to bring the studio in at least $800 million worldwide. In this pandemic situation, using Tenet as an example of what they can expect, they're not going to make anywhere near $800 million worldwide in global theatrical business. Now, even if they made $500 million, they're still leaving $300 million on the table by releasing a film during this pandemic. Even if all the theaters were open, they're still only running at half capacity. So I just can't see them releasing a crown jewel movie, a movie that costs $150 million plus, during this pandemic if they have no possibility of making back what they thought they were going to make back when they greenlit the movie. That's just too much money to leave on the ground, on the floor, and the studios can't survive. I mean, the studios have all of this money. I mean, Warner Brothers has Wonder Woman, it has Dune, it already released Tenet. I mean, they're collectively, those three movies together, if they just go to streaming, we're talking close to over $500 million in revenue lost. I don't know if they can survive that. So I think in a way it's sort of academic. They're going to have to hold back Wonder Woman 84 so they can release it theatrically to get their money back. Otherwise, how do you keep losing this much cash? What would you say, playing devil's advocate for a second? What would you say about maybe an argument that, look, HBO right now is maybe looking at Disney Plus making all these advances and stuff like that. Maybe they see parlaying Wonder Woman 84 as an HBO Max play, that there's some attraction there to something like that. Maybe the benefits for HBO Max would outweigh that. I don't know. How would you respond to that? What is HBO Max, like $15 a month? Yeah. I mean, in order to make it viable, you still have to get 30 to 50 million subscribers. You'd have to more than double the current subscriber base to make it worth, and that's HBO Max's money, unless they have some revenue sharing deal. I mean, I know it's all under the Warner Brothers umbrella, but I just don't think, and that's a big risk. That's a big if, and I think they're going to lose too much money. It's like the No Time to Die thing. We found out that they wanted $600 million for a year license in order to make it viable to put it out on streaming. They simply, at a $250 million spend, they need $1 billion or somewhere close. And that's just same with Wonder Woman. They're expecting that kind of money. So unless they can get that, no matter what they do, release it in theaters, then a month later put it on HBO Max, there's still hundreds of millions of dollars that are going to be lost. I think they're going to wait. Yeah, I agree. I mean, again, 6 months ago, the notion of put it out in theaters and then a few weeks later put on HBO Max is absolutely ridiculous. Totally. It ain't so ridiculous right now, but I agree with you. It's their best play here, I think, is clearly to delay till mid 2021 and take their chances then. Question is, guys, what do you think they're going to do with that? I mean, certainly there are options on the table. Which option do you think is best for them? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, guys.